The situations into which the product of mechanical reproduction can be brought may not touch the actual work of art, yet the quality of its presence is always depreciated. In the case of the art object, a most sensitive nucleus, namely its authenticity, is interfered with. I can't help but feel like the recent string of videos produced by Videogamedunky provide ideas that are somehow reminiscent to those presented by German philosopher Walter Benjamin in his seminal essay, The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction. In his essay, Benjamin argues that the technological developments that have allowed for the reproduction of art can fundamentally change the way that we experience it for the worse, positing that art created under such conditions ultimately loses its authenticity and might eventually not even be able to be considered art to begin with. While Benjamin's work pertained to the newly modernized societies of the 1930s, a closer examination of Dunkey's most recent videos shows us that the German philosopher's warnings might be even more applicable to the age of internet culture and YouTube content creation. But alas, I'm getting ahead of myself. On December 3rd, Dunkey released a video titled "I'm Done Making Good Videos," which was at first read by many, myself included, as a one-time riff on the nature of YouTube content as it stands in 2020. He claims to be foregoing his more periodic, thoughtfully made videos in lieu of making daily uploads, including Drama Mondays, Among Us Tuesdays, Minecraft Wednesdays, Among Us again on Thursdays. You get the point. What I think most Dunkey fans were kind of surprised to see was him actually starting to put out these super weird off-brand Dunkey videos on his actual channel, where he actually followed through with Minecraft and Among Us material. At the end of most Dunkey videos, he usually leaves us with some variant of more Dunkey, as can be seen in all of these outros. But the first of these new videos ends with the grim promise of more content. While earlier in this same video, Dunkey refers to his own material as works of art, this jaded expression of his work now being self-labeled as content would come to foreshadow the messaging apparent in the later videos in this series. The videos that followed carried an uncanny aura to them. They're still technically Dunkey videos, but even though the comedic timing and vocal cadence are the same, there's this nagging feeling that you've seen this somewhere before. And not just because this is supposed to be satirical. The thing that unsettled me the most is this moment, in which it is revealed that YouTube went out of its way to congratulate Dunkey for creating this intentionally shallow content, literally displaying that his viewership, and hence his revenue, has gone up. For anyone who ever wants to make money off of YouTube videos, there's a pretty straightforward line to follow. Step 1, create pretty solid, personality-driven content for some time. Step 2, create a strong brand image with you at the center of the brand. Step 3, start creating various other sources of income, including t-shirts, pins, and a side podcast. And Step 4, eventually migrate yourself over to using those side streams of income as your main source of income. Egoraptor used to create really funny videos on his main channel that took a ton of effort to make, but now he can kind of just expect people to come in and watch the newest episode of Game Grumps, making way more than he ever could off of his more high-effort material. H3H3 used to make reaction content, but it took effort to find things that were actually worth making jokes about, and I don't think that people ever gave Ethan and Gila enough credit for all the work that they put into their original catalog. Now, though, they can just sit around and have people watch their 1900th interaction with Trisha Paytas and get way more of a return on their time investment than they would by memeing on the Bradburys. At its darkest, some creators try gaming the system, faking their way through speedruns, knowing full well that an audience of children will continue to support them even if they get caught. At the point where you have an audience in the tens of millions, the goal no longer becomes to sell your art. In the end, to maximize profit, you must sell yourself as the commodity. The grim truth of the matter is that this person on your screen is not Dunkey, but is instead the living embodiment of what Dunkey is algorithmically and financially incentivized to sell you. What you're seeing here is the physical embodiment of art in the age of internet reproduction. The character is ultimately a jaded meta-commentary of the very ecosystem in which Dunkey exists. In the age of commodified internet content, you don't get rewarded for making the best videos that you can, but are instead most rewarded for simply creating the things that people consume the most. Like Benjamin stated, each subsequent clone of the original work of art becomes less and less authentic, until it is rendered to be a shell of its former self, and can barely be labeled as art in the first place. What is perhaps ultimately most disturbing about Dunkey's most recent videos is that they're a foray into the mind of a man who's just realized that he has to decide if he wants to keep working hard to create meaningful art that he can be proud of, or if he wants to rest on his fanbase and enjoy an early retirement making Minecraft videos and gossiping about the latest YouTube drama on the Dunkey and Layla podcast. I hope, for the sake of his fans, including myself, that he chooses the former.